So we're going to call the meeting to order. The Colchester Planning Commission. It is 7:02. First, I want to welcome Wendy Critchlow. Thank you for joining our board, our new member.
Thank you.
We definitely appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
All right, so we're going to get off with agenda considerations reserved for changes to the agenda items and order. No changes. Correct? Nothing. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is a public hearing for our supplement 44. And I'll need a motion for that.
I move to open the public hearing on Supplement 44, the Colchester Development Regulations. Second?
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. So on this portion of the agenda, if we have anybody who wants to speak, now's the time to come. You address us. It won't be interaction like we did before. It's if you have any concerns or compliments or whatever for this part of our supplement. Now's the time. Come on up. Please state your full name.
It's Rick Davey from East Lakeshore Drive. And a couple of things. Probably all of you have seen my letter that I sent. So our concerns is about the height, on LS4, and that we've addressed it on LS3. And first of all, I want to say that I'm in huge support of LS3 and LS4. And a lot of work has gone into this, and I think it's awesome. My only concern is the height on LS4. 40-foot structures do enable 3-story buildings. And I look at East Lakeshore Drive as a corridor, a scenic corridor. And if we start allowing three-story structures on the opposite side of the road from the lake, I think it's going to be something we're going to regret in the future. So I don't think there's anything you're going to do at this time, but if you don't, I hope that we can address it as soon as possible after the fact. And look at all the different heights that we have from LS1 to LS2 to LS3 to LS4, and all the different heights, from a 20-foot to a 40-foot in those 4 zones. And I think that all of them should be addressed. I'm surprised that nobody in LS1 has brought up a 20-foot height on that side of the lake. So I just wanted to speak out to that. The other piece was that in table A2 LS4, I think you left out 35-foot flat in that table because it was brought up in a prior meeting and it was approved by the board. So there's a couple other little things that I've brought to you. They're small compared to that one. Okay, so I hope that can at least be addressed in this meeting.
Great. Any other public comment tonight? No. All right, very good. We can close the meeting. We can close the open portion.
Okay.
Yep.
I move to close the public hearing on Supplement 44 of the Colchester Development Regulations.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So now, we grow right into, where am I here? So now we discuss. Any changes, considerations? We're happy with what we've done? Ready to move forward? Yes, Kathy?
We just want to address some of the what Rick has raised about the table A2 for LS4 and 35 feet. And there were a couple others that I don't think were included in your letter from Mr. Davey, but they were to me, and I do want to update those. There are a couple reference checks with numbers. Those numbers, when we added in other sections, got adjusted. So we might say per 3.05, it should say per 3.06, for example. So if it's okay, I just want to walk you through those so you see those. There's nothing substantive. It's just correcting the references. And then substantive would be the table A2 for LS3 and 4. So I do have a draft here. The first one is in 4.05. 4.05, it should say 3.06. That's the correct.
You said F, that's E.
I'm sorry. I bring my reading glasses. 3.06 C2. You are following along. That comes out on page 40 of the PDF. So it says 4.05 F1. That should say 3.06 C1. Actually, now that I'm seeing how much there is here, I can read you a list and then I can update them later so you don't have to watch if you'd like. All of them are purely about the references. So there is then 3.07 C2, also references 4.05, it should reference 3.07. B of that category should also reference 3.06 and 3.07. I do want to show you where we are with table A2. What Mr. Davey was talking about lives right here. We reference for LS4 a pitched roof height. We don't reference a flat roof height. That should say, per your previous discussion, 35 feet flat. Does that sound accurate?
Yep.
Per your previous
I
discussions?
don't remember, so
Remember
I
that.
have to look it up.
That's in line with the others. I can scroll up and show you, zoom in a little, where there are 40-foot ridge heights. All of the others say 35-foot flat, so it would be very consistent. Seem okay?
Yep. That's all you've got?
To this discussion,
Okay.
I will go back and make those other edits.
All right. Everybody else?
Nothing substantive.
No. Okay. Everybody else
Okay.
good? Yes, sir. All good? Sarita?
Yeah.
All right, we need a motion.
Okay. I move to submit the supplement 44, the Colchester Development Regulations, to the Colchester Select Board.
I'll second the motion.
All right, discussion. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Very good. All right. Too much.
That went so fast.
It went so fast after so much work. Seemed so simple, and it really wasn't. Okay, let's continue on. Commission comments and questions from the public not related to anything on the agenda. All good? All right. So now we're moving on to an energy report from Renae Marshall, Deputy Town Manager.
Get you going.
Right,
They went so fast.
they did. I was only anticipating staying there a little longer. So tonight's presentation is going to be sort of a culmination of the work so far to date since the select board adopted the policy in 2019, the energy policy. And so we're gonna, in this presentation, I'm gonna kind of review some of the work that has been done in 2019, 2020, 21, and currently. So as I mentioned, and as defined in the select board policies, the planning commission also acts as the energy committee. Since the policy was put into place, implementation of energy efforts has been assigned to the town manager's office. In addition to having access to the entire town staff, the town manager and the deputy town manager are the staff to the energy committee for the purpose of implementing these types of energy projects. So again, as I said, we're going to be reviewing some of the work that's already been done to date, and there has been a significant amount of work towards those energy efforts. In 2019, LED street light replacement, that reduced the street lighting bill by $72,400, or approximately 54%. The HVAC equipment at the Burnham Memorial Library was replaced with much more efficient system. And then we've constructed two 150 kilowatt hour solar power arrays. So we have one at Roosevelt and Pumpkin Patch. The equipment for both of those sites are leased for a period of 15 years. And at 15, yeah. And so after that time, the town will own them outright. And the typical life expectancy for solar arrays is 25 years. So those, the remaining years will return us over $900,000 back to the town of Colchester. And that's after the lease payments and the other expenses. The creation of the energy scorecard created a path to preferred siting and sizing for alternative energy generation in all areas of town. And in 2020, rescue and library buildings, they replaced several appliances and lighting for more efficient, energy efficient models. And the cooling system in the town hall server room was replaced with a high efficiency cooling system. Additional non-LED streetlights were replaced in the northern region of the town. And the lighting at the fuel island at the garage was converted to LED as well. We installed solar-powered flashing pedestrian beacons, both at Blakely and Thomas Drive, Blakely Road and Williams Road, and West Lakeshore Drive by the boat access. Parks and Recreation replaced two mowers with a single mower that was more efficient, has a more efficient engine. And Colchester Police purchased semi-permanent speed signs that are charged by solar photovoltaics, and an upgraded multifunction speed cart and traffic information sign that is also solar powered. That brings us to 2021. Again, rescue building, we added additional insulation to the attic for more efficient heating and cooling. We purchased a Nissan Leaf and an EV charger for use by town staff. And the Parks and Recreation installed motion sensor lighting in bathrooms at Airport Park and at Bayside Park. The Colchester Police purchased two semi-permanent speed signs charged by the solar voltaics and completed a full cleaning of their HVAC system. And the Fire Department has developed FY22 improvements to increase energy efficiency at Center Station, including a new roof and LED lighting there as well. Our efforts now are focused on that third solar site. So currently we're at about 60% to 60 to 66% of our total energy that's consumed by the town, and this third site would bring us to that 100%. Currently we're finding the replacement solar site for the one we previously discussed that we were looking at Hercules Drive. So we're in permitting process for a site that's off of Mercier Drive. And the select board approved $32,000 for permitting cost for that. So this project, like I said, if constructed, would bring us to that closer to that 100% and the provision of municipal services. Our two current solar farms generate solar energy credits, which are used to offset the electric bills from Green Mountain Power. Those credits expire if unused for 24 months. So we've put into place a tracking system to be sure that those credits are used as intended. The select board transferred $558,000 to the capital equipment and facilities fund for the use of this next permitted solar farm. And this allows us to pay the full cost, the capital cost of that, and without having to do the lease, and so it better positions ourselves. The Community Recreation Center, it's currently developing that Community Recreation Center to produce electricity equivalent to that's consumed in the center, as well as the 3 fire stations that the town's expanded sewer system, and raise the bar on the generation capacity needed to meet that goal of 100% to meet all of those expanding needs. So likely it's a very substantial solar component to the proposed project, and investigating whether it makes sense to include geothermal heat and air conditioning in the center as well. We talked about the car charging station that we have for the town vehicle that's used for town staff. We're planning to put in car charging stations for the public at the center station and at town hall. The town hall charger would be completed in the next 12 months, approximately, and is dependent on the supply chain issues that we've encountered, and the professional installation. The estimated cost of those chargers is approximately $16,000. We plan to use town funds as the budget allows to purchase the car chargers that will charge users for the electricity that's actually used. And this is a picture of our Nissan Leaf and our current charger that's out in the back of Town Hall. And that is it. Thank you. Let me know if you have questions.
Go ahead.
I just have a couple of questions.
Sure.
I'm just wondering, the tiles, do you know how long they're warranted for, and if it's a full guarantee?
So, like I said, they're about a 25-year lifespan.
Yeah. And we have a good, they're covered in terms of insurance?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And then who's responsible for monitoring the cells to make sure they're all working?
Yep, so we do have a system, Aegis they're
Right.
monitoring that
Okay.
electronically, and then we also have staff that is reviewing that information.
Okay. The only question I had, and I'm just wondering again what our role is as the Energy Committee. I mean, in terms of providing input,
Right.
providing recommendations, or just, hearing, getting updated.
Right.
But and I think it's fantastic what you and the select board are doing in terms of solar
Mhm.
energy. I think that's excellent. I'm just wondering about thermal energy and transportation around municipal buildings.
Right.
For tightening up, because I feel like there's so much money now available to tighten up these buildings.
Mhm.
And I'm wondering if that's kind of pretty soon in the future, so we
Right.
can access these grants
Mhm.
and tighten up, like, I'm thinking, I may be way off, but the
Right.
municipal buildings, and then start again switching out our vehicles,
Right.
for electric.
And those are ongoing assessments that we do currently, and looking at our town buildings, municipal buildings, and finding other ways to, provide energy efficiency and making changes and improvements. We also are always exploring, the different technology that's available, and want to make sure that you're balancing, the needs and the goals that we have, but within the fiscal constraints that we also have.
Yeah. It's just that there's federal money now and a lot
Right.
of state money. I mean,
Mhm.
I know for certain incomes, it's $13,000 stipend for an electric,
Mhm.
a vehicle. And I assume you're looking at grants you know, of possible grants in
Right.
terms of, you know, having weatherization done on municipal buildings. and-
Yes, we do explore those options. In fact, we utilized grant funding when we got the electric car charger that is out back of Town Hall.
Great,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Nothing? Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
All right.
I already
Moving
have
on.
to raise my hand.
Yep. Oh, go right ahead.
No,
You're
I
done?
was saying with you. You just turned to me and just said.
All right. Number 7, we have an informational. That's from Kathy.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, Renae, number 7. This is just an informational item. There's no requirement for you to speak to it, but I do want to highlight it because Renae was just talking to you about the third facility that we are seeking to permit. Part of that permit process requires petitioning for a certificate of public good. That has been filed. That was included in your packet. It's also available in our office if anybody wants to see it directly. It's a very thick packet, and it is available there, but it is, there's no action needed by the board unless you wish to submit comments as part of that certificate of public good public hearing. But since it is a town application, I can't imagine you would have any additional comments to add, but it is a right afforded to you as the planning commission.
Perfect. All good?
Can I just have?
Absolutely.
And this is, I was just curious, I noticed that a lot of towns were notified of that. And so, I'm just curious for process purposes, do they have input, would someone, their town manager or something, have input into that, our process?
Yeah, so not necessarily into our process, but they would submit comments on behalf of the, as part of the public good process. And there's directions in there on how to do that.
Mhm.
And we will receive those as well for other communities and even private ones
Okay.
that are seeking this. So you've seen these as informational packets for everything from any sort of solar on top of a private building, public building. We go through the same process as a municipality that you would if you were Shaw's trying to put those panels on your roof, for example. And that allows you to, anything that is net metered follows that process.
Thank you, I just,
And so we notify all the butters, and it goes to the chairs of the planning commission and to the chairs of their select board or council. Does that sound right? Renee's been shepherding this.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
A lot of work.
Yeah. All good?
Yep.
All good. All right, we need a motion for the minutes.
Up.
Go ahead.
After you.
Go ahead. I've been doing it all night. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll second.
All right, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. So we're gonna need adjournment. Before we adjourn, heard Mr. Scheck, this will be your last meeting, and I want to thank you publicly for all your years of service. Absolutely fantastic, put a lot of effort in, and you know how to reach all of us, so when you want to complain, holler at us, drop us an email
You'll be missed.
anytime.
I didn't know you were going till tonight.
I didn't know either, and we could have done something to celebrate,
Oh, we will.
you know.
We will.
Oh, we will, okay.
We're never
Not to
done.
celebrate you leaving, but to
I didn't
celebrate
put it on the agenda.
your contribution.
Yeah.
And I have someone that's gonna reach out to Kathy Ann to join the commission.
Great.
Pam Driver, she's been a resident in the town for quite a while, a smart lady, and I think she'd be a welcome addition.
Perfect.
Nice.
And we'll be
Forget to
full board
an
again.
all-woman,
That'd be
huh?
nice.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
I'll be outdated here, I'm numbered.
So,
All right, yes,
before you adjourn,
yes.
just to confirm your meeting schedule going forward, we talked about it at the last meeting, but at that point, it was still unknown as to whether or not this would be a continuation of the public hearing. It's not a continuation of the public hearing at this stage, so, you talked about probably not having any meetings in October
No, okay. I
while you
don't-
wait for this to go through select board process. Is that still your wish? So you would have an October, I think I've listed them on there, but I think it's October
That
October
would-
4th and 18th would be your regularly scheduled meetings. October 25th is my hope as the date for the select board hearing. So the way that the process would work with the supplement 44, we will deliver that to them at their next meeting. That is not a warned public hearing, that's just a delivery. That would take place next week, hopefully. Pam's listening. So hopefully that'll be on that agenda. They would then have to warn it. Our goal is to aim for October 25th as the first, if there are more, select board public hearing. And hopefully, I know Rich has said that he will attend. It'd be great if at least one other member could attend as well. But your own meetings for October, we haven't really talked about what you'd like to add to them.
Still wouldn't mind just jumping over to November. I'm good with that. And we'll make sure we're good, yeah.
I know we were also watching to make sure nothing else came in terms of new requests for amendments. I haven't received any. It's funny, we had like 6, I think, in the queue going into the spring, but I haven't heard a single one since the last time that you guys reviewed requests for amendments to development regulations. So I don't have any that I would be bringing to you for that purpose.
Okay.
Things you could do if you chose to have a meeting in October would be to review those that you did kick from September, or from the spring. You could also do that in November. I haven't reached out to any of those applicants just yet. There were 3, I think, that you decided to push off until after the supplement, so that is a potential item if you wished to meet in October.
Can I just ask?
Yeah, what do you
Yeah.
think?
Just a clarifying question, I believe we also kicked kind of down the road the question from Severance Corners about the design of the building, and I would hate to hold them up another construction season, and I'm wondering if we'd have enough time.
So I think that was broadly, I think they'll miss our construction season no matter what. That was broadly looking, re-examining the form-based code that exists in Severance Corners. That's gonna be a process, I think.
Mhm.
I think you're looking at, potentially a 6 to 9 month review of that. You did identify that that's the next topic you would like to look at, but you did that in the spring. You may have different ideas now. So we'll probably wanna have a meeting where we just talk about anything else you might wanna do next.
Yeah. I'm good with the November, put the whole package together, have
I'm leaving
discussion.
entirely up to you. I will be
Anybody else?
prepared with
Yeah,
something
you
if
good?
you'd like to meet in October.
Hate to put Wendy off for a whole month here, miss 2 meetings.
I know. Get into a routine here.
But, yeah, I would just soon wait till the select board does their thing after all this, and if everybody else is on board.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So on November 4th, we'll have a discussion, what's next. Sound good?
No, it's November.
Yeah? All right.
November,
Yeah,
Oh, is that right? 6, I don't know.
first, I don't know.
Where am I? Yeah, you're
I
right,
don't have a
November
calendar on
1st.
me.
There you go.
1st.
And
Yeah.
what are the other dates in November?
So you'd be the 1st and the 15th.
Yep.
It's a 5 Tuesday month.
Okay.
We're near Thanksgiving, so we'll be great.
Yeah, so it does avoid Thanksgiving by quite a
Pam
bit.
has a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah,
You'd be able to have 2 if you wish to.
sure. What you think?
Before you adjourn,
Yep. Absolutely.
so as your former chair, thank you for all your service. I'd be remiss if I didn't say anything. Loved having you, loved working with you. Gonna miss you, don't be a stranger.
I won't, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
All right, we're all good?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Bye.
Thank you. Very good.
Yeah.